So I think we'll wrap up this week with Story of the Week, which we've been trying to do as much as possible. And it's that time of year. It's who's going to get fired first. Deservingly or undeservingly,
Boy, and there are a lot of candidates this year.
Absolutely. And two of the top ones in my mind are from our division.
Yes.
So you got Norv Turner, who has managed to save his job every year by being streaky.
Right.
Like they start off horrible and they make a good comeback. They play mediocre. They're in a split season. They're 6-6. And they manage to win out those last few games and work their way into the playoffs. They show no signs of that this year whatsoever. And I think without some sort of miraculous finish, that it may be, hey, they have to at least get a wild card spot. I don't think he's around next year. I don't think they fire him mid-season, but I think he is definitely a candidate for being ejected. I think they've finally had enough of not getting anywhere.
Well, I certainly don't see them trying to make a major change at quarterback. So, it's more likely that they bring in a different coach and coaching staff to try to work with the Rivers level of talent. Because the thing about it is, Rivers is not getting any younger.
No.
He's in the latter half of his career, and they're kind of in that Oakland Raiders, get it done now. Every
Sure.
year they're going to have to buy some talent. They're going to have to. Anyway, but of course Romeo Crennel,
First year coach though.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? When you're posting signs. When you're posting signs on your door saying, eliminate bad football, maybe you don't really understand how to motivate a team.
Right, or realize that is one of your core responsibilities. It's not something you stick on a door and think is going to get done. This is something you have to get the team to do.
Right.
It's in your job portfolio. It's in your job description. How many people have jobs where it's like you've got 12 things in your job description, you just make bumper stickers out of them and call it a day.
Right.
So that's not great, Coach. Crennel, he was 20 and 40 with the Browns, 24 and 40 with the Browns. I don't know how you get a head coaching job after being that mediocre.
That's always been a mystery to me too. How people continue to get promoted through their own incompetence, but they do. It happens, and.
Well, now he's 25 and 49 as a head coach. The fans hate him. They hate their offensive coordinator. I just don't. I think Turner's the first to go at the end of the season, but there is always a potential that if they don't sell tickets to the Kansas City games, they launch somebody. Maybe the offensive coordinator goes first. But I don't think Crennel survives this season, whether it's mid-season or now or at the end. I think he's canned. I just don't see what you can say positive, what he brought to this season that works, and the confusion he causes with the quarterback controversy and that kind of stuff. I just don't see why you have him.
And then we got the Eagles.
Poor Andy Reid. He's so close so often, but just never had just quite the right quarterback to make that team do what it should have done. Michael Vick now certainly isn't the answer. Of course, he's concussed and he's out. They've got the new rookie kid who didn't do very well last week. You look at the quarterbacks like McNabb that he drafted before that, and it just wasn't ever quite a good enough quarterback. They almost they're in the playoffs a lot, but they just can't close the deal, and they're further away this year than I think they've ever been with him as a head coach.
I don't think the league has the tolerance for Andy Reid's left at the altar performance the way that we did back in the days of the Bills showing up to 5 Super Bowls.
The old school guys, Tom Landry, Marv Levy, those kinds of guys. Yeah, that does not happen in the league anymore. It's
right.
Everybody wants to win every season. So, and for some teams, that's just not realistic. The Eagles are old.
Right.
They were in the right spot a few years ago, and they just couldn't close the deal.
The only thing I might say in defense for some of these hapless head coaches is that I really see the NFL's long-term plans of league-wide parity being closer to fruition than it's ever been. I mean, as bad as Kansas City may be as the bottom dweller of the league, the thing about it is they're good enough that you can't just assume go ahead and pencil that in as a win.
Yeah, you can never just look at the schedule. Shannon Sharp was talking about this weekend. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna. That's a win, and no, you don't do that in the NFL.
No. So if this were college football, Romeo Crennel would probably be having a much better season than he is. But this isn't. You know, and the difference between winning and losing is razor thin.
Sure. And KC supposedly has been in a rebuilding program.
Right.
This was supposed to be a year of progress. 1-9 is nothing. They're the worst team in the league.
That's the exact opposite of progress.
Sure. And there's also Ron Rivera, Panthers. Cam Newton might get him fired, basically. You got this superstar quarterback who's got his eyes closed at press conference. Is going to be less interested. Obviously there's a disconnect between the on-field players and the coaching staff. You got a guy like Cam Newton. You're not paying him to have mediocre seasons. The quickest way to get that turned around is to replace the coaching staff. That's definitely a possibility. I've even read on ESPN that Jason Garrett might be on the chopping block. And this is an interesting one because he's done well in the last few weeks. The Cowboys are legitimately in the hunt in the NFC East with the Giants stumbling so badly. But the reality with the Cowboys is having the owner be the general manager really is the problem. And he was actually asked a week or two ago whether if he had a general manager with the record that he has racked up personally, would he have fired him? And he said, yes, I would, but I'm not firing myself. And so it's the Al Davis problem all over again. So who has to go? If the owner / general manager isn't going to fire himself,
right,
then the next person on the chopping block is the next guy down the totem pole, Jason Garrett. So he might also go as well.
Well, and that's how you get folks like Dan O'Dowd hanging around when you have Montfort Brothers owners for the Rockies, for example, hamstringing the team.
Sure. Yeah, it's a common enough problem. NFL's try to stomp it out the best they can, but we still have this as an issue. All right, well, unless you got anything else, I think that could be it for this week.
I think that is it for this week.
All right, so we've got the picks on the board. It should be an exciting week. The Broncos can eliminate the Chiefs, and the Raiders and the Chargers are just hanging on the edge of the cliff. They make one mistake, and their chances go from really improbable to nearly impossible.
And next week, we're going to hang our butts off a limb, making some predictions about the postseason.
Ooh, postseason time. That's right. Yes. We're getting to that time of the year.
I think I think a week 12. Week 12 is the perfect time to begin looking into our crystal.
Everybody else already is. Why aren't we jumping on this bandwagon?
Exactly.
Press pass, by the way. All right. So for Sportishness, Jonathan, John, enjoy good football.
See you next week.
See you next week.